the if and then statements?
I don't, but I can look at the assignment real quick. Is that what he went
Okay.
over today?
Yeah, I literally don't understand what he's talking about. I don't understand that worksheet at all. It's confusing me.
All right, let me look at it. Is it the if then statements quiz review?
No, I'm already done that. I got an A on that. I'm done with that.
Okay. So what's the title of the assignment?
Let me look.
Because I'm not the only thing I see for 1026 is the IXL practice.
Oh no, it's not that. I'm pretty sure.
Not good.
Love you, mommy. Love you too, baby.
Well,
I'm not watching a movie. I'm working. On what? I'm in a Google Meet. Goober. What? I'm in a Google Meet. Oh. Then shouldn't I be on my Google Meet? You have one at 1:30. But you can do your already reading, like I asked you to do. I said I'm tired. Well, then take a nap. If you're tired. Oh. I kind of just want to lay down and relax my legs. My legs are tired. I feel tired. I just want to lay down. Well, then lay down. I am laying down. The cooker's right over here. Doing on something now.
were you able to find it, Timothy?
No. I'm in assignments. It's not up.
It's not up.
Yeah, it's not up.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. No, that's not it.
I bet he may not have uploaded the assignment yet because whenever before we logged off after Math 3, he said that's what he was going to work on was like uploading the assignments for the day.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't have to worry
Well,
about it.
we'll check at the end
Yeah.
of class and see.
But the only thing I see for 1026 is IXL practice and of the if then quiz.
Oh.
So, are you comfortable enough with the if then stuff, or do you need some
Yeah,
help
I'm
with that
pretty much
before you
covered
take
up.
your
Yeah,
quiz?
correct. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Okay.
When we go to Greatwood Lodge on Friday, do I do meetings at Greatwood Lodge and homework at Greatwood Lodge?
All right.
No. But
Well, Timothy, can you see my screen?
okay. You don't have meeting.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about water in our atmosphere, and then all I have today, I do have a video I'm going to post, and I may post it after. I've got to create some questions that may come up later. It's a kind of lengthy video, but it gives some examples of some of the stuff we'll talk about. So I think it's going to be pretty good to go along with this. But what you will do, and we'll talk about it at the end, is sort of this little web quest, and it has pretty much some videos that are on these different sites that you watch to answer the questions. And so we'll look at that in just a minute. So we're moving into sort of the weather part. And so first we need to get an idea about the water that's in our atmosphere. And we know that clouds are actually water. And so we're going to build up to actually talking about clouds, maybe not today, but possibly tomorrow. So just a quick review. We know that gas is water vapor. And in the clouds, there's actually some solid there, and they're in ice crystals. So we've got a little bit of ice, and it's in crystal form. And then water or liquid is the water droplets. So just to kind of review, water vapor is gas, your ice crystals are solid, and then liquid water is your water droplets. So when we're talking about weather, those are the things that we're, the terms that you'll hear. And just kind
Right.
of review quickly, and this should be very simple. We know that solid to liquid's melting, and to do that, it's absorbing heat. Liquid to solid is freezing and it's losing heat. And condensation, what we see on our glasses when we have a glass of iced tea or a soda bottle that's been in the refrigerator and we pull it out and it gets wet on the outside, that's condensation. So heat's being released into the surrounding and it's causing the air, is cooling the air around it, and it's that water is condensing or the water droplets are showing up onto the water bottle. And then evaporation is when you absorb so much heat that the water turns into a gas. There are two other terms that deal with this. Sublimation is when you go straight from a solid to a gas. And then deposition is from a gas to a solid. And a lot of times this is the frost. So deposition, think of your frost in that case. Um, let's see. Some terms dealing with weather, humidity is one of them, and the video does a pretty good job that I want to post talking about humidity, especially relative humidity. And so humidity is just the amount of water vapor that's in the atmosphere. And so when air reaches the capacity of what it can hold with water vapor, it's said to be saturated. And so humidity is going to depend specifically on temperature, and at different temperatures there's different saturation points. So if it's 100% humid outside, we're going to, or 100% relative humidity, more than likely we're going to have some type of rain. So this is the measurement. Relative humidity is the measurement that we use to determine how much air, or how close air is to being saturated, to being 100% humid. And in the video I'm going to post, the guy does a good way of explaining or showing how you can actually calculate that and figure that out. So when you listen to weather reports, a lot of times they will give you the humidity is such and such percent. Well, the closer it is to 100, the more likely it is we're going to have some type of wet weather. One thing that's going to be important in this unit is that warmer air is going to have more water vapor. It's going to hold more water vapor. So it's going to be more likely to produce rain or some type of wet weather. Where if it is cold air, it's going to have less water vapor. So high temperature, you're going to have a lower, if your water vapor stays constant and you have a high temperature, you're going to have lower relative humidity. And if your water vapor is constant, it's going to, you could end up with a lower temperature, you can end up with higher relative humidity. But your warm air holds more water. Warm air holds more water. That's the main thing there. So here we have, to make that bigger. Oh, quite not that big, but okay. So we have, let me just scoot it this way. We got a 50. Didn't really want 50. Zoom. Oop, well, they won't let me do a middle. All right, so let me make this bigger so I can see. I can't use my arrows because I'm not in present. All right. So, warm air, greater maximum water vapor possible. So, it can hold the more water vapor. So, if the circle shows the temperature of the air, so warm air, it's going to be able to hold a lot more water vapor. So, that circle is bigger. Cooler air is going to reach saturation quicker because it can hold less water vapor. So at 5 p.m., in this example, relative humidity is 20%, where at 11 a.m., it may have been 50%, and at 5 a.m., it may have been 100%. Because at cooler air, it reaches saturation quicker than warmer air. Um, so it's kind of a visual there for that. Measuring humidity, you've got to have two thermometers. We call that a wet bulb and a dry bulb. And so, if you were going to do an experiment with this, you'd have to have one thermometer where you had some gauze around it and it was wet. And the dry thermometer is measuring your air pressure, while wet thermometer is measuring the water that evaporates. So it's measuring sort of the temperature as it evaporates. And then you have to use both of those using a chart to find relative humidity. And so the smaller the differences between the wet and dry, you've got a higher relative humidity. And the larger the difference, you've got a lower relative humidity. And so you want to, in the video I'm going to post, he shows how to actually use this chart and to determine relative humidity. But this is one of the tools that meteorologists may use. It's probably more computerized now. This would be a psychrometer or a hygrometer. This is changing. It records the length of hairs when humidity changes. So human hair will stretch when humidity increases. Hence, you might have hair that poofs out like that when it's really humid. So your hair kind of expands. So they use that concept here in this hygrometer to measure humidity. So that's one thing that you can use. I think it's psychrometer is another one that they use to measure it. The other term, heat index, is just the air temperature feels like. So sometimes you'll say, well, the temperature is this, but the heat index is this. So when you walk out, you're going to feel either warmer or cooler than the actual temperature. So that is what the heat index is. And so high air temperature and a low relative humidity, you're going to feel cooler outside than what it really is. And if you have a high air temp and a high humidity, it's going to feel hotter out. And so that's what we experience a lot in our summers is that high humidity. And so it always feels hotter out there. Um, and then the last thing is dew point. And this is the point at which the water or the vapor in the air will condense onto the grass. And you always see this usually in the mornings because overnight the air has cooled off, but the ground takes a little longer to cool off. And so you've got it condensing. And then in the wintertime, you'll see this as frost, where we see it as dew usually in the spring or early mornings in the summer. So, those are just some of the terms that you're going to need to be familiar with as we start our study of weather. Now, if we go back here, like I said, I'll post the video and I've just got to go through and create some questions. So if I don't get it posted today, I'll post it for tomorrow. But in this web quest, each one of the links, and I tested them and they work. I'm almost 95% sure they all go to a video. So for this first one, this mainly is dealing with the water cycle. So you're going to click on this link and it's going to open right here. And notice it says video. You're going to listen to this video. Um, and when you, unfortunately, this one doesn't have the closed caption that you can click on. So you may have to stop and pause it. So as you're listening, listen for the question. So it says, is there a specific beginning or end to the water cycle? I'm not sure if there's something else. So listen for that. And what powers the water cycle, listen for that as you watch that video. And then you'll go to this one. And again, oh, this one is an article. So this one is not a reading. So you're going to have to look through here to see, to look for the questions. So it's going to be in the actual writing of that. And then it tells you at some point, look at the water cycle diagram to answer that one. Then site 3 is going into back to this website again, and there's a video to watch. This one actually has the closed caption on it, but it says none, so it may not. I guess you could put it. It may not. You'll have to play around with that and see if it'll show. But there's a video for site 3. Site 4 is again an article. And you may need to use this right here to fill in a chart. So there are some percentages there that you'll need to put in a chart. So you'll look through this website for those questions for site 4. And then site 5, I think, is another video.
So 2 videos and 2 web quests, and 2 videos and 2
There's,
articles.
well, this is the third video. And then 6, yeah, so 2 articles and the rest are videos. So when it
So two
comes
articles
to,
and 4 videos.
yep. And so again, with the videos, have look at the questions ahead of time so that you can kind of listen for that, and so you can stop it and fill that in. So it should be pretty simple right there. And I'll work on that video since there's videos within this, and I'll post that video for tomorrow that I was wanting to have up here. So this will be enough for today because there's, since there's quite a few videos in there. But you'll work on this, and that would be it. And I'll work on getting those quiz grades transferred over. But I think other than that, unless you've turned something in today, as of Friday, I was caught up. So if you've turned something in over the weekend or Friday, I haven't got that graded yet and up there. Grades in Canvas now should match grades in Power School. There was just a few days there where they wouldn't match, and now they are matching. So any questions?
No.
Okay. Did you want to look at that math real quick since Miss Morton's on here?
No, I think I pretty much got it figured out right now because
Okay.
it's weird, but I mean, if it's anything like if it's anything like we were doing last week, then I'm pretty sure I got it.
Okay. Well, I
Did
just
you
want to
find
make
the
sure.
assignment though?
What?
Did you find the assignment that you were?
No, he hasn't put it up yet.
Okay.
All right. And also remember, Timothy, in Canvas, you can go to your calendar. I would attempt, let me spread my thing back out so it will show.
So that's what calendar is used for. What is calendar
If
used
you
for?
go to your calendar, now mine's going to look awful because it has every one of the classes I teach on it. So it's going to be littered with stuff, maybe. But it should show you if you go to today. Why can't I see the dates very well? Oh, there they are. Okay, so go down to today, which is mine's okay, the 26th. And so you should see if you have anything that is due on this day. And so you'll have to test to see if you click on it, if it actually takes you to that assignment. Because when I click on it, I have teacher rights. It's going to automatically take me there. But notice that I have different colors. So for me, my green is my biology, and yellow is my physical science, and then there's the water web quest, and notice I put the due date on the 27th. So if you get it done today, that's fine, but at least you can see what is due when. So you can test and see if you click on it, if it takes you right there. Did he leave? He left.
Yep, he sure did.
Well, anyway, that becomes very helpful if students would use it, including my own child. All right, let me stop recording.
I accidentally closed out the tab.
Oh, okay. You're back. I will cancel my stop recording. But you see how the calendar works now?
Yeah. But for some reason, my calendar only goes to the 24th. It doesn't go upwards. It just goes down to the 24th. There's nothing past the 24th.
Why? I wonder why. Have you logged in recently?
No, I haven't logged in, and
Do a refresh.
I haven't logged in. I haven't ever used the calendar. That's probably why.
Well, no, just refresh your page and see what happens because you should at least see the 27th because you have an assignment on the 27th that's due. I mean, when you got onto Canvas this morning, did you log directly into Canvas?
No, I went to the
No,
bookmarks.
that might be the issue. What we're finding out is if you don't log into Canvas each day or at least once a week, sometimes it doesn't even register your activity. I mean, you can submit stuff and all that, but sometimes it won't on the teacher end show us that you were on, if that makes sense, because you've got to physically log in. So that may be why, because the last time you logged in, we may not have had anything past the 24th. So if you just do a refresh up here, it should show up.
Okay, now it's showing up.
Yeah. So you should see now. Do me a favor and click on the water web quest and see if it takes you to the assignment.
Okay, go to this no modules. Scroll down.
Does it take you to the assignment or
Yeah, it
not?
does.
Okay. So that's another way you can get to, the things that are due. But by doing that and not going through modules, you can miss like the instructional piece if it's put on a different thing than the assignment. Like it's fine for my class today because you were on Google Meet to go straight there because you listened to my lesson. But if you weren't here, you'd want to make sure you listened to the lesson before you went straight there. Because you could miss things if we have other things posted. All right, so that might help you figure out what you might need to do for math for today and so forth.
Okay,
All right.
you realize you're still recording, right?
Yep.
No.
I'm stopping now. I stopped because you came back on.